not Kevin Gates being dragged into this entire mess, talking about how Ashlee Jenae was crazy.
How y'all doing?
Hey,
How y'all doing? You know, we keeping it organic, me and my little chocolate Easter bunny. Babe, stop playing. Babe, you know I'm sensitive, babe. We about to get in a lick. This her car. She just came for to pick me up.
something like, not too crazy.
She from Philly, so you know she crazy, she toxic. She might stab you. You might stab me in my sleep.
I'm not
You
toxic.
told me if I take my hands off, you gonna beat me up.
Because I'm with my hands.
I ain't gonna trouble. I love y'all. Y'all have a beautiful day.
And toxic. He even claims that Ashlee told him if he takes his hands off her, she's going to rough him up. Then Ashlee laughs along and confirms it, saying, "Music. 'Cause I'm good with my hands." Okay. He also said that the Lamborghini in the video belonged to Ashlee, and to a lot of people, this doesn't make sense at all. To them, the fact that her family now needs a GoFundMe to cover basic expenses proves that these high-ticket assets, the cars, the expensive designer items she always posted, music, the villas, and the jewelry weren't actually her property, because you can't be Lamborghini rich on Monday and GoFundMe broke on Tuesday unless the wealth was never yours to begin with. People are saying that showing off $20,000 in Chanel every other week and now needing a GoFund for funeral expenses is diabolical. So, was Homegirl really just living a fake life? I know that Kevin Gates was probably just joking when he said those things in the video, but we have people who are convinced that it's probably not as simple as it may seem given everything we've been learning about Ashlee Jenae of late. News reaching me is that she had a second IG page that was dedicated to her being a stripper and an escort, which was taken down, allegedly. From what I've heard, her family is probably the one who took down the second Instagram account, but I've seen people saying that they can confirm that Ashlee was a bottle girl at Dare South in Miami, Florida, where she possibly met some of her alleged clients. Look, clears throat. Before some of y'all get it twisted, I'm not saying that whatever happened to Ashlee is justified. In fact, she deserves justice, music, and her family deserves to know exactly what happened to their daughter when she was in Zanzibar. But it also doesn't mean we are not going to cover the various questions people have going on, because every day something new pops up about this case, and it just gets crazier by the minute. Now guys, I knew it was only a matter of time before other people who knew Ashlee Jenae came out of the woodwork, and honey, I was personally not prepared for the things they would expose. There's been a bunch of people from Miami who have said that they know that Ashlee was living a fake life, and one person who claimed to have first-hand information actually wrote this. No one's saying it, so I'll say it. Ashlee may be an influencer now, but everyone in Miami knows she was a stripper. Joe met her at a party she was literally working the pole at. She danced in his section, and ever music. Since they've kind of gone around the world fighting in luxury hotels for the last year and a half. This wasn't even the first time they became engaged. It was the second. It's also not the first time the police were called to break up one of their fights. He is currently the subject of a financial crime investigation. He was taking profits from investments that were actually at a loss for years and got caught out there for doing it. He's rich, janky, older, has a massive power imbalance with her, music. And in my opinion, picked her because of that. Who knows what happened that night? May she rest in peace, and may her family find the truth. But this was 100% a very openly sugar baby on steroid situation. Source, I know them personally, and we have many mutual friends. Honestly, this alone gives me so many questions. If she started as a dancer in Miami and met Joe while working the pole, it changes her entire platform. I mean, we know that Ashlee was a major face in the music divestment community, which is basically a group of black women who advocate for dating exclusively outside their race to find a better life. Essentially, a woman who calls herself a divest is usually saying she's being intentional about who she dates. Okay, on paper, it's just about self-improvement and smart dating. And being a divest definitely doesn't mean you're an escort. Most of these women are just looking for a husband who isn't going to stress them out. Music, however, when it comes to Ashlee, people are saying that this was not the case. She was constantly showcasing this ultra-luxury lifestyle, designer bags, high-end travel, and 5-star everything. but people couldn't quite figure out where the 9 to 5 or the business revenue was coming from to support it. I mean, there is not one single brand or product promo on her page. In the influencer world, if the brand deals don't match the Birkins, people start asking questions, and people are saying that her relationship with Joe was strictly transactional. Apparently, the reason why we aren't seeing much of her old life is because there was another Instagram account that belonged to Ashlee, which was deleted. According to the gossip circles, that page was where she posted much more explicit content, the kind of stuff that definitely leans more toward high-end sugar baby business than just intentional dating. And guess what? Guys on Reddit were talking about deleted profiles on certain sugar sites and screenshots floating around forums that allegedly linked her to professional night services. Music. And while some fans defended her, saying she was just practicing what she preached by dating wealthy men, others feel the line between intentional dating and pay-for-play has gotten a little too blurry. This also brings us to the other thing that people have been questioning. Exactly how involved was the family with Ashlee's business? The fact that accounts are being scrubbed, allegedly by the family, means that they got access to her profiles, and it's only natural to wonder if they have the keys to her bank accounts, too. See, Ashlee was a soft life ambassador, and even if some of that was sponsored or part of her intentional dating lifestyle, she clearly had access to significant amounts of money. Yet the family launched a GoFundMe to raise $50,000 to bring her home and cover investigation costs. On the surface, it seems like a grieving family just trying to get by, but people are asking why a woman who was supposedly marrying a millionaire and living music, a jet-set life, would leave a family so financially strapped that they need to crowdfund her repatriation. I mean, even if they didn't have access to bank accounts, couldn't they have sold a few of the things Ashlee was posting online, which could easily get them a couple hundred of thousands of dollars? Unless, of course, it was all fake, and just like people have been speculating, Joe was merely just one of her clients. Maybe this is why Joe McCann is not lifting a finger. Think about it. If they were truly in a committed, divested relationship heading toward marriage, a man of his supposed stature wouldn't hesitate to cover the costs of bringing her home or handling the legalities. The fact that he's been ghosting the financial side of this tragedy speaks volumes. Ideally, in the world of high-end companionship, once the service ends, the financial obligation usually ends, too. Obviously, it also puts the family in a really awkward spot because if they knew Joe was just a client, they couldn't exactly go to him demanding he pay for the funeral or the investigation because he has no legal or moral tie to them. Plus, insiders have said everyone in Miami knew Ashlee's history. So, if the family has access to her account's music, and is deleting things, were they aware she was working as a sugar baby/escort this whole time? Does the family's cleanup of her social media suggest they are trying to preserve her reputation to keep the GoFundMe donations coming in? And I know that many people are going to question why there was an engagement if things were not real. Well, haven't you all heard of content? We've seen people stage grand proposals for the gram. So it's quite possible that the engagement was just for content. Plus, there's something called a GFE that exists in these kinds of relationships. Clears throat. Let me school y'all a bit. In high-end companionship, a GFE, girlfriend experience, is a real thing where the client pays for the illusion of a relationship, and a proposal trip is the peak version of that. It gives the influencer the content she needs to keep her brand alive, and it gives the client the status of being the millionaire provider. Anyhow, apparently that video where Kevin Gates repeatedly calls Ashlee toxic music, and crazy proves to a lot of people that Ashlee was not as innocent as she's been portrayed online, and that she was living a fake life. In the video, Kevin Gates points to the tan Lamborghini and says, "This is her car." And now people are saying that influencers and high-end escorts often rent supercars for the weekend to create content that makes them look more established music than they are. If the car